Hey guys, thanks for tuning to Confessions of a Fitness Coach. I'm your host, Coach Danielle Collette, and on today's episode, we're discussing alcohol and what it does to the body. And also, I'm going to give you 8 tips on how to cut back on drinking or completely quit it altogether. So let's get into that next. Hey guys, so last weekend I went on my bachelorette party because I'm getting married June 7th, 2018. We're going to elope in Hawaii, so I'm super excited, but I went on my bachelorette party and I actually got called the most boring bride because I didn't drink. I think I had 3 drinks the entire day and one spilled over on the boat we were on. I mean, quote unquote spilled. So I got called boring. And it was because I turned down the drinks because I don't like how they make me feel. And I don't really drink anymore. But what's funny is I used to drink the most out of all of my friends. I literally was the first at the party to go grab a drink before I sat down all the time. So today's episode, we're going to talk about alcohol. So it's been linked to depression, anxiety. It makes people have violent behavior sometimes. And it increases the risk of your accidents, your injuries. It even increases the risk of drownings a year. And it creates or develops can lead to the risk of cancer. So the more that you drink, the more damage you are doing to your liver, your body, your brain. It is literally toxic and our bodies try to rid ourselves of it the second that we consume it. We love alcohol, though, because it lets us loose on our inhibitions. I mean, let's face it, it's fun getting drunk and getting loose on the dance floor or just drinking at a football game and going drink after drink. You aren't even thirsty. You're literally drinking until you feel something or maybe until you feel nothing, Everything or everyone just kind of has their levels. Some are worse than others, but to each his own. The thing is, if it's not in moderation and you're not going round for round, you need to know what you're doing to your body. If you're a person that's going round for round, you're not going in moderation the way that you're drinking, and I'm not different. I've always drank until this past year. And the older that I got, the more I drank. Whether I was going out to clubs or bars in my early 20s or just having a glass or 5 glasses of wine a night, it was vodka, wine, whatever I had. Shoot, for a while, I was the person who would go to Trader Joe's and buy 12 bottles of their brand name wine that they have. And it's $32 for a 12-pack of wine. And you can mix and match. You can get a Chardonnay with your Pinot Grigio or a Merlot. So it was kind of cool, right? But I mean, I literally had 12 bottles of wine in my cabinet. That's a little crazy. I felt like shit in the morning. I felt like shit every workout. I got side cramps, leg cramps, headaches, you name it. But yet every night I got off of work at the casino, I'd shower, cook, and have a few glasses. I started thinking to myself, okay, this is too much. You should not be going out to dinner and having 2 or 4 drinks, spending all this money for nothing, Just literally drinking to drink is all. So I decided I didn't want to do that every night. I had no idea how I was going to stop. I always came home and had at least a drink or more. So I'm going to give you some tips on how to slow down on the drinking. But first, let's talk about alcohol and what it does to your body. So recommendations I read online that they recommend about 2 a day for guys and 1 a day for women. Any more than that is considered problematic. So alcohol it can damage the brain, the liver, the pancreas, increases the risk of breast cancer, creates inflammation and irritations in your stomach lining that can cause ulcers and bleeding in the stomach. It also can create irregularities in your rhythm of your heart, which is super important to people that are into the fitness industry or into fitness in general. Your heart is huge. Drinking more than recommended can impair your pancreas and cause it not to produce insulin, which that leads to diabetes. And it can damage the heart functioning properly, and it is almost immediately absorbed into about every tissue in your body the second that you consume it. There is absolutely no nutritional value. That you are actually harming yourself more and more that you drink. It is actually considered a diuretic, alcohol is, and consuming more than suggested daily can cause dehydration. Your kidneys can start to produce more and more urine, and if you're not taking in more water as you are alcohol, then you're going to feel dehydrated and guaranteed to feel like shit the next day. And if you wonder if it affects your performance level at the gym, hell yes, it does. Dehydration with sweat is a mixture for fatigue and muscle cramps, those side cramps, and your heart rate speeding up. Everything is just connected. And not to mention the amount of sugar that you're consuming in each drink, anywhere from 50 to 150 calories a shot of alcohol. And if you're throwing in sugary mixers or sodas, count in an extra 100 to 200 calories just for one drink. You don't remember shit the night before after you drink. Your brain literally gets temporary amnesia, which can eventually lead to diseases. And if your future and your health are at all important to you, you should take this seriously. I get it. Moderation is fine if that is in your lifestyle, but just these are tips and ways to slow down depending on your personal goal. So let's get into these tips. And I'm not saying that you have to quit. I'm saying that I'm here to give you this information and you do with it as you please. I think that moderation means, from a personal health and fitness perspective, that if your goal is to stay healthy and to lose or maintain your weight, then alcohol should be significantly cut from that equation. Just the amount of damage that it can cause you over time is reason enough. Whether you choose to do it slowly, cut it out completely, or just cut out down the excess of what you're doing to reach whatever your personal goal is, these tips can be used. So let's get into number one, which is, if you are used to having something in your hand to drink, try making something and put it in a cup that you will continue to drink out of. So tea worked for me. I made hot teas with local raw honey, and I drank one or two a night. Make sure it's not a caffeinated tea, but they have all different types. I really like the yogi tea. The blueberry one is really tasty, and I mix it. There's a vanilla cinnamon one that I really, really like that's really good. It's just something to have in your hand, and it tastes good, something to look forward to, the different flavors. They also have good antioxidants for your health and your skin. Just, having something in my hand that wasn't alcohol really helped me, and it's something you can try, and it may not work. Don't go grab a soda. Don't go grab something terrible. Maybe flavor infused water, cut up some fruit, cut up something, cucumbers, lemon, put it in your water. Have that instead. Try to make that a new habit instead of going for that drink all the time. Number two, count your drinks every night, or maybe circle each day on the calendar that you drink. Maybe it'll put it in perspective for you and open your eyes to just what you're intaking. Hopefully it'll make you cut back. Maybe you're drinking, 4 or 5 glasses a night and you don't realize how much you really are. And you're drinking, 25 out of the 31 days. If that's the case, then you really need to reflect on everything that I just said. And you need to reflect on your health and your path and your goals. You really need to reiterate the importance and the priority of your health in your future. So cutting back and counting your drinks, circle the days on the calendar that you drink. If this helps you, it's worth trying it. Try to implement it. Try to be consistent with it because it's important. All right? Tell yourself that it is important. Number 3 is going to be measure your drinks. Bitch, do not tell me you only had 2 drinks, but you put 5 shots of alcohol in your one drink. If you are if you're a beer drinker, check the labels, see how many calories you're drinking. Be mindful. All of that turns into sugar, and sugar turns into fat. Your body is going to store those fat cells and hold on to them, especially when your body is working overtime to rid the toxins out from your margarita festival or your beer festival that you went to. So measure the drinks that you're making at home, and don't kid yourselves about just, I only had 2 drinks last night, when 1 drink equaled 3 to 5 shots from your heavy ass pour. So measuring your drinks is super important. Go buy yourself a little shot glass, or a jigger as they call it. I bartended for years, so measure out your pours. Let's get into tip number 4. Tip number 4 is slow down, pace it. Throw in a glass of water in between each drink. Make it a rule to stay hydrated, especially if you're into fitness. If you're a person who works out, that is so important. Hydration is so important. Don't come up to me and ask me why you have cramps. Don't come up to me and ask me why you have a headache. Don't come up to me and ask me why you're not hitting your goals if you're a person who has to drink every night. Like, these are your problems. Slow down, pace it. Implementing these healthier habits is what's going to get you through the day and get you to your goal. Listen, if your goal is not that, then just pace yourself. Throw in a glass of water. I don't know what your personal goal is, but I can tell you going round after round is not going to make you feel good at the end of the day. Might make you feel good at the time, but the next day you might be feeling it, or when you get home, when you get the spins and you're in that spaceship. Y'all know what I mean. We've all been there. You try to put your leg on the ground. It does not work. It never works. So let's get into tip number 5 is remember that alcohol spikes the blood sugar levels and can raise your blood pressure. And that spike in the blood sugar levels can make you feel way more hungry, crave carbs. Carbs aren't bad as long as they are dense with nutrients and not shitty fried foods. But when you drink, the first thing you go for are the wings, the pizza, the crap. So keeping in mind that the more that you drink, the more you're going to want to eat. So pace yourself, like I said. So just keep that in mind. Let's get into number 6. Learn to say no. Whether it is to one or to another round, don't just grab another drink because your friend or your man or your girlfriend has half a drink left. I've been guilty of this in the past. I did that numerous times. Me and my fiance, my now fiance, him and I in the past used to do that all the time. We'd sit there at the bar and have round after round. I'd be like, oh, you got half left. Let me order another. That is not an excuse, and sometimes it's hard to say no. And anytime that I'm with my uncle, he's always trying to buy us a drink after drink after drink. And I literally, like I said, I'll have one to prove I'm not pregnant so my family doesn't talk shit. But you just have to put your foot down. Half the time, people just want you drinking so you don't notice how dumb they might act or how drunk they might act. So get to know your triggers and why you're reaching for the drinks, whether it's because of a certain person you're hanging out with or a certain place you might go. Maybe they have specials. Maybe it was a tough day, or maybe it was a good day. Maybe you're celebrating. Just keep your health and your future in mind, and your actions show how important that is to you as an individual. My goals are not your goals, and you have to keep that in mind. Some of this might not relate to you, but if your end goal is what we've been talking about, losing weight, staying healthy, and I assume that's why you're listening to this podcast, then you will and you should be mindful of what you're doing. So let's get into tip number 7, which is do more active shit. Go kayaking, go rollerblading, go running, go to the dog park with your dog, get outdoors, go out with your kids, make them run, make them do push-ups, show them what you've been doing in the gym, get active with them. The more that you are active, the less you are being reactive and drinking to treat or reward yourself like you're a damn dog. Reward and celebrate your body for what it can do, not by drinking till you can't remember what happened. So try to find activities you can do with a friend, a family member. Family is important. Friends are important. Our kids are important. Do something that is going to have a positive effect on your health and your family, your future, and all that stuff. That's what really helped me and helped my fiance Trent and I really whip into shape. We got into healthier habits. We didn't just sit at home and watch show after show and drink after drink or bar after bar and food after food anymore. Once you start being more active, you're just bound to be more motivated to get into it. So that one's really important. Number 8 is our last tip. Stay consistent. Stay consistent with what you're doing, whether it's keeping with that calendar, whether it's setting the goal board that I talked about in episode 1, which, by the way, I want to know how you're doing on your goal board. If you hadn't made a goal board and you don't know what one is, go to my first episode, my journey episode, listen to that one. That goal board is so important. I've had so many positive people come back and tell me how much it's been helping them. I want to know how you're doing. Write me and tell me how you're doing on your goal board. Have you set new goals? Have you hit goals? Silly goals, big goals? I want to know. And let's talk about staying consistent. If you fall off, get back into what you set out as a goal. I don't care if you have to give it all your beer. I don't care if you have to give all your beer and vodka away. Do what is going to help you reach your goal. It is possible. You just can't let your mind limit your action. If you know you have a problem, be real with yourself. Even if you are not a quote unquote alcoholic, you know when you are seeing a problem and what is causing a problem in your life. I noticed that it was making a problem in my life. It was not making me hit my goals. It wasn't making me motivated. I wasn't happy with the way that I felt, the way that I looked, and I had to make a choice and set a goal, and I had to stick with it. And the more that you stick with it, and like I said, it's okay to fall off, but the more that you stick with it, the more that you're going to see that it's easier to implement into your daily lifestyle. I know saying hard to your friends and family is no, especially when you're out drinking. You feel the pressure as you go out to a bar. You feel pressured to buy a drink from the bartender. I'm a big bar sitter. I like to sit at the bar when I go out to eat. My friends hate that I'm like that. And I was a bartender for so long. So to me, I always liked drinking. Drinking was my thing. I like to mix up different drinks, but I was very simple. I kept it to vodka, water, splash of cranberry. If it's baby steps, if you're somebody who's drinking a lot, take those baby steps. If it's not like you're a person that's drinking those sugary drinks, try to limit it and maybe go for just vodka water or rum and diet soda. I hate soda. Soda's bad. I hate to say that. But just try to implement baby steps, something that's going to get you motivated, because the more that you're motivated, the bigger steps you're going to take towards it. You're going to see changes in your body. You're going to see changes in the way you're feeling. The less and less that you're drinking, the more and more you're implementing these healthier habits, and the more and more you're going to crave that feeling and that the way that you're looking and feeling. So just stick with it. Consistency is such a big and important thing. And alcohol literally, it affects the way you perform every day. There is no nutrients in it, guys. It's just making you fat. It's making you depressed. It's making you miserable. And I don't want to see you like that. And I see people tell me all the time, like, oh, I went out drinking last night and I feel like shit today. Let me work it off. You're not in there to do punishment for what you did the night before. You're there to reward and celebrate the fact your ass can get up and walk in that gym, and celebrate the fact that your body can do the things that it does. So stop treating yourself like a dog. You're not rewarding yourself anymore. You're going to struggle, you're going to fall, but get back on the horse and keep consistent with what you're doing, and you're going to get that result. I hope you enjoyed the episode, and if you did, make sure that you hit the subscribe button and leave a review, and maybe hit that 5-star button as well. It helps me get seen better on iTunes. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Coach Danielle Collette, 2 L's 2 T's, or on Facebook, Confessions of a Fitness Coach. And I'll leave my website in the show notes. Go make today your bitch, guys. I'll catch you next time.